Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Carried Away Travels. This week, I want to talk to you about 5 awesome things that you can do in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, that aren't at the beach. If you've watched my channel for any length of time, there's a good chance you know that I don't really like the beach. And I know, I'm weird, but unfortunately, I can only be in the sun for so long before I absolutely start to roast. So, somewhat out of necessity, somewhat because I'm the kind of person that just generally would rather do something than just lay on the sand all day. Whenever we go on a beach vacation, I am always looking for other activities that I can do that don't just directly expose me to the sun for hours on end. Now, I understand that most people do go to Myrtle Beach for the beach, but it is always a good idea to give yourself a break from the sun at least every now and then. And of course, if you have kids or you're looking for things to do at night, Myrtle Beach actually has so much to offer. And I feel like people just often get so caught up with the beach aspect that they miss what else is out there that they can enjoy. So, with that in mind, I want to tell you about 5 fun and unique things that we got to do during our Myrtle Beach vacation that I really think you should check out too. If this is your first time here, an extra special welcome to you. My name is Carrie, and my goal is to help you plan the perfect trip every time by sharing helpful travel tips, itineraries, gear recommendations, and more so you can go into every situation fully prepared. If that sounds like the kind of video you want more of in your feed, don't forget to hit that subscribe button right now to get more videos like that from me in the future. And just one more quick note before we get started, I will be including links to all of these activities in the video description, and a couple of those are going to be affiliate links, which means if you book an excursion through those links, I may receive a small commission at no extra cost to you. None of these are sponsored, by the way. These are all experiences that I did on my own, paid for with my own money, and then thought I want to share with my audience. So, as always, if you have any questions about that, please feel free to reach out to me directly or drop a comment below, and I will happily get back to you. And without further ado, let's start talking about the fun stuff. The first thing on my list is a Polynesian fire luau. Now, this was by far my favorite thing that we did because it was just so unique and hands-on too. The company that runs this only has 3 locations in the US. One of them is in Myrtle Beach. Obviously, the others are in Daytona and Orlando, Florida. And I thought this was just such a cool cultural experience, but also you got all the food you could eat. So, I mean, that's a big bonus dinner and a really cool show. I just thought this was a 10 out of 10 experience for a number of reasons. Now, I actually discovered this experience on Viator, which is like my go-to platform for booking excursions and a lot of different activities. And at first, I was a little turned off at the price because it is like $67 per person. But again, you are getting an all-you-can-eat buffet with a pretty lengthy show that is just such a cool experience. I thought it was worth every single penny. We went as a family and everyone has such a great time, and I think it was one of our most memorable moments from the vacation. So again, I would not hesitate to go and do that again for that price. So this Polynesian Fire Luau is actually hosted in a hotel like banquet room, and they have it all set up with fun decorations. They have a nice stage, and then they have a lot of staff just wandering around in like Polynesian attire. And the first chunk of your evening is going to really just be enjoying the food. They have sticky rice, huli huli chicken, kulua pulled pork, salad, fresh fruits, all sorts of desserts, and there's just so much to choose from. And again, you can go up as many times as you want, and they give you a pretty good chunk of time to enjoy your food. About 45 minutes or so into the evening, they started playing some music for us, and it was pretty chill. By the way, I thought the MC was absolutely fabulous. He had just the right amount of like quirky humor to keep things like upbeat, but also he was a very talented musician, so that definitely added to the evening for me. And then around the 1 hour point, they started bringing out the dancers, and from there on, I was just absolutely hooked on this experience. They have men and women, and they come out and they do all sorts of different dances from the different islands. So you're experiencing this really great range of dancing styles and music styles, and they all did such a fantastic job. Like, I cannot dance to save my life. So that's even more impressive that they could come out and do all these different dances. And it was just absolutely beautiful and fun and engaging. Like, it was so great. And again, they're incorporating little bits of humor into it. And then they started incorporating the audience, which added so much to the experience too. Daniel got pulled up with a bunch of other guys to do this very macho, like, warrior dance. And then I got pulled up with a bunch of women and little girls to do like the hula. And it was fun. It was a little embarrassing because I had to do it in front of a bunch of other people, but I went up there and I did it. And if you don't want to do it, like, you have the choice. I was not forced into this. I wanted to try, but that just was an extra fun memory that I could lock away. And I'm like, hey, remember the time I went to the beach and I learned the hula? Like, I thought that was just a fun element to bring the audience into it as well. But the highlight of this show is definitely the fire juggling. It is absolutely insane. The MC was actually one of the two guys that came out and was juggling all of these crazy fire torches. It was absolutely incredible. I mean, that takes so much talent, and I just could not look away. They did quite the show with that too. Like, it wasn't just a couple throws of it. Like, they were spinning it and flipping it through their legs and up in the air, and it was absolutely awesome. They're just so talented, and I mean, wow, I would love to go see this show again. At the end of the night, everyone has the opportunity to go up and meet the dancers and take a picture with them too. They keep it moving. It's very quick, but they were all so nice. And honestly, I felt like I was fangirling a little bit because I was just in awe of how talented they were and how much fun I had had. And again, they were all so nice. So I thought that was a nice little ending because we got a fun photo with the cast. And we also got the chance to take a picture as a family and get a souvenir photo to take home. The next activity on my list is the Dinoland Cafe, which is a dinosaur-themed restaurant with life-size animatronic dinosaurs. Cheesy, 100%. Enjoyable, also 100%. Now, I realize, depending on your view of dinosaurs, a dino cafe is only ever going to be so cool. But I'm a nerd, and I had an absolutely wonderful time here. I do think this is an experience that would be really fun for families with kids. Our group was all adults. We still had a fantastic time, but it did have a feel where it was very family friendly, family oriented. So that's something to keep in mind. If dinos aren't your thing, just skip ahead a few minutes. But if you are a little nerdy and weird like me, this is something you might want to check out. So when you walk into the Dinoland Cafe, it is this huge open room, and it's got like this Ice Age theme all over. You immediately see all of these giant animatronic dinosaurs. They go off every few minutes and they are roaring. I mean, they are moving their jaws and their arms and their tails. There's a dragon and it's moving its wings. Like, the whole place just comes to life. And it is pretty intense, but it's also really cool just to see all of these different giant dinos just moving around. And they had a pretty good variety of them. They also had just some like Ice Age wolves, and I'm pretty sure they had a Scrat in the back and a caveman. So just some other little details to kind of round it all out. But altogether, it was a pretty fun experience. I'm pretty sure my favorite part of everything, though, was the person dressed as a velociraptor that goes around to every table and individually puts his mouth over people's heads so you can take a picture pretending a velociraptor is about to eat you. That was 10 out of 10. Wonderful cheesiness. I was there for every moment of that. They also have a worker that is just assigned to hold its tail. And I don't know why, but I just absolutely loved all of that. But despite the cheesiness factor of the animatronics, the food here is actually pretty good, if not a little bit overpriced in my opinion, but it came out so fast. When the waiter came to our table and took our orders, he said it would be out in less than 15 minutes, and they stuck to that. Like once we were seated and we ordered, they just kept things moving at a rate that I thought was really impressive. They do have a pretty nice menu to choose from as well. We ended up getting the roasted half chicken and the Pinosaur pineapple chicken, which was like a rice pilaf with chicken, and it was served in a bowl made out of a real pineapple. They were both really delicious, and again, they came out so fast. Like, I was really happy with the meal overall. They also have a really nice selection of desserts, including like giant milkshakes. But of course, we had to get the chocolate dragon egg just to go along with the bit there. It was really good. It was a pretty large dragon egg and it was filled with fresh fruits. And so it was a really nice balance of like sweet and citrusy. And so that was a great way to round out our meal. They also have a pretty large gift shop right at the exit with all sorts of dinosaur themed toys, jewelry, stickers, etc. Something for kids and adults. I ended up bringing home this cute little Stegosaurus because he triggered my cuteness aggression and he's very squishy and his name is Stego. Just one thing to keep in mind, this place was absolutely packed and people just kept coming in. So I would highly recommend that you call in advance to make a reservation or have someone go in early to get your name on the wait list because you might be waiting for a while. Next up on my list is Barefoot Landing. Now this is an extensive shopping, dining, and play venue that's right on the water and it is absolutely adorable. They have just put this together so nicely with all of these cute little green spaces, really nice pathways. The storefronts are all super chic and most of the things we saw were like local boutique stores, or at least something that I hadn't really heard of before. So not like a big chain. And they had everything from clothing to toy stores, beef jerky, like all different sorts of things you could choose from. And then on top of that, they had fun things like an outdoor amphitheater where they do concerts. There's a place where you can play cornhole and a little playground for the kids. There's an alligator adventure. Like there's just a little bit of everything here. And this is something we actually hit on our way out because it was dog friendly. We had Atlas with us. And so we had a great just early morning walking around this loop. It's got this beautiful boardwalk that goes over the water. Like it is just the perfect peaceful location. And so this is something I would really recommend you go and just stroll through on a sunny day. Take your time, pop into the shops. There's an arcade there as well. Eat some of the food. They have so many different options. Like this is just a really nice chill morning or late afternoon activity. And again, they have like events and stuff too. So you can plan your day around that if you want to catch one of their shows. Like there's really something here for everyone. Just for reference, here's a view of their site map. They have lots of parking, all sorts of different shopping and entertainment and dining over here, a big kids playground. They have plenty of restrooms and stuff as well. And then just on this side, even more shopping, dining, wineries, like they have everything here. So you can spend as much or as little time. You can make a whole day of it if you wanted to, but there's just so much to choose from. And the next thing on my list is a Waccamaw River Cruise. Now, I actually did a full video on this experience because there's just so much to it. It was one of my other favorite experiences from this trip. But if you like nature and wildlife, this is definitely something you're going to want to check out while you're in Myrtle Beach. This is another experience that I found through Viator, and tickets cost about $40 per person. But once again, I felt like it was worth every penny because we just had such a wonderful time. The Waccamaw River Nature and Wildlife Tour runs twice a day at 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. So you get to choose what works best for you and your group. And each tour lasts for about 2 hours. And on this tour, you are going to take an extensive trip up and down the Waccamaw River with a guide who is going to tell you all about the different wildlife and plant life along this river, how they contribute to the ecosystem, its history, like it's a whole thing, and it's all incredibly engaging. But in my opinion, it was even more fun because you are seeing these wild creatures up close, firsthand in their natural environments. And I just love wildlife experiences, but especially when I have the opportunity to see like alligators and owls and osprey just out in the wild, not, contained in a zoo or even like an animal ambassador. To me, that is just so much fun. And that is what this tour is all about. Something I particularly loved about this tour is that the guides really clearly care about this slice of the world. Like, this is their home and they love this river and the creatures there. And I was so impressed by how knowledgeable our guide was, but also just how much she knew about the individual creatures. Like, obviously she didn't know the name of the alligator we saw, but she knew the osprey we saw by name and by their nest, and she knew their history. And I thought that was just so fascinating because it helped connect things a bit more. It made it more personal, and you could hear the passion in her voice. And I thought that was just really great to see that. And again, I love supporting local companies because it contributes back to the economy. So we just had an absolutely wonderful time with this. Everything was well run. It was clean. Our cruise boat had a cover on it, so we weren't directly exposed to the sun, even though we were out during pretty peak sun hours. Like, I just thought this was so well done, and I really highly recommend this if you're in Myrtle Beach. And the final thing that you should definitely carve out some time to explore is the 1.2-mile long boardwalk and promenade. This is just a go-to spot for fun any time of day. It definitely has a ton of nightlife, and I loved being there at night because it is all lit up and gorgeous, but you can visit any time of day, and there are all sorts of shopping options. If you want souvenirs, this is the place to go. You should definitely check out the Gay Dolphin, which was huge. I literally have never felt like I could get lost in a store like I could in this, with all its different levels and nooks and crannies and very unique items. They had everything, so definitely check that out. There's also tons of restaurants, like hundreds of restaurants to choose from. We went to Riptides one night, and that was really, really good as well. It had a super cool atmosphere. You could see the oceanfront out the back. That was so much fun. There's also a number of like amusement parks and rides to do. The Sky Wheel is a big one. That's their big Ferris wheel. That's always a classic. But I was personally a big fan of the Funplex. This is a little amusement park right on the boardwalk, and it has a number of small rides, but the intensity level was surprisingly really good. Like, they had their own roller coaster that went around their little area, but they had cars that were like wheels. So as you were sitting in your car, you would like roll around the track. That was really cool. They have one of those ones where it's kind of hammer shaped and you go all the way around. Like, they had some pretty decent rides for it being as small as it was, and you just get a card with a number of credits on it, and you just tap at the entrance to each ride to use your credits, and you can refill it. They had a number of little small carnival games too that you could pay credits for, but that was absolutely awesome. There's also the piers and all sorts of places where you can book excursions like jet skiing and parasailing, you name it. So if you have free time to kill, I would recommend you go over to the Boardwalk because you just have so many options and you can choose whatever activities fit your interests or your needs and your budget level. And this is just a great spot to bring the whole family. And those are my top 5 experiences to try in Myrtle Beach beyond the beach. Obviously, this is just brushing the surface of what's available because this is such a huge vacation destination. Like, there are countless shows and activities you can choose from. These are just the ones that we tried and I thought you all might enjoy as well because they were a little unique or quirky or off the beaten path. If you do have questions about any of these activities, please feel free to drop those in the comments section below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I'd also love to hear your thoughts on these and any recommendations you might have for anyone watching this video and me for the next time I go to Myrtle Beach. If you have an experience there that you love, let me know and then I can check it out the next time that we're there. As always, I do have a full written blog post about these 5 activities on my website at www.cochranewriting.com on the Cared Away Travels blog. If you're looking for a recap of these for a quick reference, I encourage you to check that out. I also have more blogs about Myrtle Beach, beach vacation essentials, and all sorts of different adventures from America and beyond. So if you're looking for something to spark your wanderlust or just get more details for your next vacation destination, definitely check out my blog. I'm sure there's something there that will help you out. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, save, and share it with your friends and family. And of course, if you really enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you get more videos from me in the future. Thank you so much for coming by to explore Myrtle Beach with me. I hope this video was helpful, and I wish you many happy travels.